No one can ever say I'm not up for a big challenge. You know, the striped bass can be one of the more difficult fish to catch in fresh water. He's not limited by shoreline or structure or cover. He can swim anywhere in the lake he wants to, and he can be very difficult to catch. But there are a few keys that if you practice those on your favorite lake, you could have a great chance to catch some of these hard fighters for your very own. We show you how coming up right now. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
Hey everybody, I'm really happy you chose to join us for this week's show because I think we're in for a real adventure and a lot of fun in the next half hour as we take you striper fishing on this week's show. Now, we're going to use a lake in northwest Texas for demonstration purposes today, but more importantly, I'm going to pass along some tips, methods, and some information that's going to help you go out, locate, and catch some striped bass of your very own in a striper lake where you live. Now, we are originating today from Possum Kingdom Lake. It's located in north central northwest Texas. The striper population here is definitely on the upswing. I'm going to pass along some locations where striper fishing is on the upswing in your neck of the woods as well. And we're taking you around your local region for your fishing reports for this week from our expert team of insider reporters. Hey, this is going to be a blast today. Glad you're here. Let's get things started with your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are forecasting fair game fish activity for both days this weekend. Expect the best daylight action to take place at 11:32 a.m. on Saturday and 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:41 and set at 8:26. And we have a full moon Friday, so evenings should be bright. Stay with us. We'll be right back with freshwater and coastal fishing updates from around the region. Plus, Randy Howell, winner of the 2014 Bassmaster Classic, joins us for the Ask the Pro segment.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lew's, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Hey everybody, we made it out to Possum Kingdom Lake and I have killed the engine on top of a good school of what looked to be stripers right now, just scattered around right in front of me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a little pitch out here and I want to show you on my Lowrance HDS 12 right back here on the console. You can see these stripers swimming around underneath here, so they are here. It's early, it's first thing. Let's see if we can get bit right now. Got him, all right. It's been a long time since I've hooked up on the first drop like that. That's pretty amazing. This feels like a pretty good fish. Can't tell, but you can see him just, there he goes. Oh, big one. Nice one. Nice one. All right, look at this. Got a nice one right off the bat. How about that for the first drop of the day? How many times has that ever happened where we've gone out and the first drop, a nice quality size striper like that hits? That is just pretty amazing right there. Look how beautiful this fish is. He is just a gorgeous specimen there. Get a good look at him. All right, we're not keeping fish today, but if we were, that would be a good one right there. Back he goes. A lot of times in the summer, you'll get schooling action on the top. They'll push those shad up to the surface and just go crazy, just busting them all over the surface. And it only happens for the first 30 minutes, hour, maybe 2 hours. The other good thing that can happen is if you get some overcast skies, a lot of times that'll keep them up a little bit longer. Go early. That's your first principle of warm weather or summertime striper fishing. Get up early, go early, be there at daylight, be there when they feed. Okay, we are off and running. You're off and running with some fishing reports from your backyard.
Hey, Lake Hefner here in Oklahoma City is such a cool lake and it's a great fishery. I usually try to stop by as often as possible when I'm passing through this area to see what's going on. I did that today, and although fishing was slow, the anglers were ready to talk fishing and they had some good stories to share. Now Bill Decker was casting off of a walkway to one of the fishing piers, throwing a rooster tail, trying to catch crappie, white bass, whatever was swimming by, he didn't care. Then I ran into William Juniper, who was trying out a new catfish rig that he had learned on the internet, using a balloon on a piece of straw as a big old slip bobber to keep that bait just off the bottom and out of some of that trash and yucky moss type stuff that can get on the bottom this time of year. I hope William does well with that rig. And then I ran into Chris Burleson and Chris Moppin, two Lake Hefner regulars. Man, they had some great fish stories to share on what they've done on Hefner this year. Here's what they were doing today.
Trying to catch catfish today, kind of doing a little experimenting with different things, because since the water has come up so high, they've been kind of catty, I guess, would be the way to put it.
We've been doing pretty good with some stink bait, different punch baits. Pretty much all of them have seemed to do pretty well.
The people who fished longer out here than we have seemed to always use cut baits.
Both Chris's had some big fish pictures on their phone to share with me. Chris Burleson caught this big hybrid back in the spring. Chris Moppin caught this big old blue cat not too long ago here on Hefner Lake. All those fishermen I visited with today, I appreciate their insight. They all told me you can't catch it if you don't go.
Up here in some shallow water, only 13 feet deep, and man, there's just tons of bait fish, shad up here of all kinds. Dig this crankbait down through here. There's one, he bit it right there, coming right up on that ledge. Oh, that's decent fish, not too bad. I'm just gonna flop him aboard. All right, there's another striper for you right there. Not a big one, but a good fight right there, and caught him on a crankbait. So back he goes. Let's talk about how you locate these fish. It can be very difficult. Two major factors. First thing you want to do is you want to eliminate as much dead water as you can, and these fish can be very deep. So you want to find the spots on a topo map or on your chart where you've got deep water hitting up against some kind of a shallow place for them to feed. It can be a long tapered point coming out into the lake. They love ledges. So if you find a ledge that's maybe 15 feet deep on top and a sheer drop into 40 feet, that's prime striper feeding territory. But there's another important part of that equation. You can't just find the locations, you've got to find the places where the food is. Shad, herring, alewife, whatever they're feeding on in your local lake, you've got to find the bait fish. So you do that by going to those target zones, the places you found on your topo map, and driving across those and looking for these little balls of bait fish. I'll show you what a couple of those look like. When you see these balls of bait, those are the places where the stripers will come and feed. And you combine those two things, the right location with the food, you got a great spot to catch some striped bass, and you can eliminate all the dead water, find the good water fairly quickly. Time now for more fishing and lake reports from your area.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you from Lake Fork at Oak Ridge Marina, site of the 19th annual Mad Dog Moore Memorial Bass Tournament. This is held in honor of a fallen officer, and all the proceeds go to the Shriners Hospitals for Children. So it's not only a great event, it's for a great cause. Now this week we're fishing Lake Fork, and it has been really tough during the daytime. You need to start early in the morning, and believe it or not, you want to go ahead and start your day with your 10-inch worm. Use either red shad, June bug, or a watermelon red, and just stay with that throughout the day. The midday bite out deep is really tough. That's all we can say. However, once night falls, things change completely. The fish move up shallow, and they're much easier to catch. Use your buzz baits out to about 5 feet of water, your spinner baits out to about 8 feet of water, and then stay under 15 feet with those same 10-inch worms in either red shad or black blue. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes in honor of Michael David Moore. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report, and our August issue is now on sale on newsstands with great inshore and offshore saltwater updates and features, freshwater fishing tips and forecast, plus a solid lineup of hunting and shooting articles will get you ready for the upcoming hunting seasons. Pick up a copy of Texas Outdoors Journal on newsstands or securely subscribe at texasoutdoorsjournal.com or call 800-222-4TOJ. Well, high pressure has dominated Texas weather recently, and that has resulted in fickle winds. Many times those fickle winds have had a westerly influence that has kept the surf and other waters stirred up. However, in Sabine and Galveston Bays, the deep shell bite continues to produce. Best water depths have been 8 to 9 feet deep. Now, the shell along the Houston Ship Channel and Mid-Bay Reefs in East Galveston Bay continue to hold good numbers of trout. The area around San Luis Pass behind Bird Island also has been productive. West Matagorda's grass beds, Conte Lake, and Dewberry Island are giving up trout and redfish on topwater lures. Later in the day, red-white soft plastics have been the top producer. Similar patterns are occurring behind St. Joe Island, either side of the Corpus Christi Ship Channel, and flats adjacent to deeper channels. In the land cut north of Port Mansfield, anglers continue to pick up some nice flounder. Community Bar, as well as grassy shorelines and flats all the way south to Three Islands, are giving up trout on live and artificial bait. Anglers fishing the intracoastal waterway around markers 2, 4, 6, and 11 have been rewarded with good trout caught on live shrimp. Holly Beach to Airport Cove is holding scattered redfish and trout. Longbar has given up trout on topwater lures, croaker, live, and cut bait. This weekend, Saturday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. Sunday is a 3 tide day of 2 high and just 1 low. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Let it flutter down. Hit the bottom. We're striper fishing today, having a good time doing it. Once it hits the bottom, crank it up 4 or 5 cranks. Got him, got him, got him, just like that. Man, it works. Good pull right there. Let's see what we got. These stripers out here at Possum Kingdom are mean and have a horrible attitude. Keep my drag set on my Lew's BB1 Pro. Keep it real light so that if they make a big run. Oh, and he's got a snoot full of it too. Got him. Look at this. All right. Well, we've had a good day today catching those. Man, these fish are feeding heavily on shad, and they're starting to fatten up just a little bit. Well, we are here in West Texas today at Possum Kingdom, but let me give you some lakes where you can catch stripers near you. They're a very prolific fish. They're readily available in many lakes across the southeast and southwest. These fish are great fun, hard fighters, they're great eating, and our wildlife departments around the region have done a great job of stocking stripers, and there are some near you.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. By Fort Worth Nissan. Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
There he is, he's got it. Boy, that was a hard hit right there on the way sideways. Don't. Good one, good one. Oh, he's stripping drag off. Get in that net. Oh, wow. Well, let's use the pliers and pop this hook out of his mouth. That's a good fish right there. How about that? Good, long, skinny, torpedo-looking fish, but that's a solid, healthy fish. Anybody would love to catch a striper of that size right there, no matter what part of the region you're from. Slip over here and let him go back. All right, let's talk about presentation on stripers for a minute. You need a horizontal presentation to make a striper bite. What I mean by that is you need a bait going horizontally across the water column, not jigging vertically straight up and down. Several baits will do that. That's a big spoon, a swim bait I've caught them on today, a crankbait. Those are all horizontal presentations. One other thing I need to tell you about when you get into a place where there are some stripers, particularly in the summer, you need to watch for the thermocline. All the stripers will be above the thermocline. You're looking on my Lowrance HDS 12, my new Gen 3 unit there. Clearly you can see the thermocline in this water we're sitting in right now. It's some darker blue area there. Everything below that has almost no oxygen in it. There won't be any fish, there won't be any bait below that 28-foot level where the thermocline is. So you need to be fishing horizontally and above the thermocline in order to get a strike. Here's more fishing reports for you.
Hey friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana Outdoor Fishing Report. I tell you what, let's start off with Lake Caddo. Talked to several of our good friends up at Lake Caddo. They said they're catching good fish right now. Water's starting to clear up a little bit. It's still pretty high over there, but they're catching them early in the morning and late in the afternoon on spinner baits, buzz baits, and some topwater baits, fishing in the shallow water. They move back to the grass beds around the lily pads, the cypress trees during the hotter part of the day. They throw in a small weight with a little lizard about 6 inches behind there. They said the watermelon lizard with a chartreuse tail is working the best. They get good numbers. Nothing about size though. No 4, 5, 6 pounders, but they get a lot of 1.5 pounds up to 3 pounds. Also, our friends over the Chaffalot Basin, they continue to hammer them there. Keep in mind on Chaffalot Basin right now, the 2 hottest baits are single spin spinnerbait, 1 gold blade, white skirt or chartreuse skirt. Also the small -1 crankbait. It's a little crankbait that doesn't run very deep, kind of runs it right under the surface of the water, makes a little wake, and I tell you what, the bass are hitting that really good. Saltwater action's starting to pick up each and every week. Homa, Captain Bill Lake's guides, they're all doing really well on speckled trout and redfish. Down around Delacroix, Captain Chris Pike, he's been doing really good on a combination of speckled trout and redfish. Brett R.D.'s down at Shell Beach is doing really good. Charlie Thomas is doing good down around Shell Beach. And over on Slidell, Captain John Falderman's doing good. He's catching good mixed bag. He's fishing Lake Pontchartrain under the causeway.
These fish are beasts, I'm here to tell you. You don't want to horse these fish too bad. Oh, I got him. All right, there's another big one. Golly, we have killed them today. This has been incredible. Look at that. I want to do 2 things right here. Number 1, I'm going to give you Mike Acosta's information on the screen right now. If you'd like to book a guide trip, not only here at Possum Kingdom, but several lakes in Texas, he specializes in stripers and hybrid stripers. And if you want to catch some, you can contact him at the number you see on your screen. Also, don't forget to follow us on our Twitter feed. We're giving away a brand new Fox Sports Outdoors jersey. Look us up on Twitter. It's Fox_Outdoors. You can find us, click the follow button, and you'll be eligible automatically to win a jersey and a bunch more free gear. There is one more bad boy for you, folks. Away he goes, and we're coming right back to wrap it all up.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Eric, who asks, what size of trolling motor do I need for a full-sized bass boat? For the answer, we checked with the man who won last year's Bassmaster Classic, Randy Howell.
Trolling motors, you know, are a dime a dozen. Now they're everywhere, and there's a lot. If you don't choose the right one, you can have a lot of trouble. I like the Motor Guide TR109. It's a 109-pound thrust. It's a digital motor, and it's a cable pulley driven system instead of an old-fashioned cable. So it's really smooth. It's quiet. You don't have to worry about your steering cable breaking on it like some of the older ones. And it's a 36-volt system, and that's what we like, because I like to go fast, fish fast, and cover a lot of water. It does good in current if you're fishing rivers. But if you've got an 18-foot Triton bass boat, something smaller, they make that same motor in an 82-pound thrust, and it's also a digital version, and that's the one I'd recommend, either the 82 or the 109 in the Motor Guide Digital.
Thanks, Randy. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now someone's going to win a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
As you well know, each week someone wins a free pair of Costa sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week contest just by sending in their big fish photo. Here's this week's winner. He is David Ezerski of Edmond, Oklahoma, showing an 8.1-pound saugeye he caught at Tom Steed Lake in Oklahoma. If you'd like to be our next winner, send us your photo. Go to the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Click in the Costa Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page. Follow the instructions, send us your photo, and you could be our next winner of a free pair of Costa sunglasses. And you can see all of the Costa products at their website. Go back to the front page of our site, click on the Costa logo. It'll take you straight to their site, where you can see all of their excellent frame styles and lens styles, including the blue, beautiful frame style I was wearing this week called Cat K. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear to catch these stripers at a lake near you. And it begins with the biggest casting rod that Lew's makes in the Lew's Custom Speed Stick series. It's the 7'11", nearly 8 foot long rod, Magnum casting rod, the Lew's Custom Speed Stick. You can tell it by the white on the handles. I have on that the Lew's BB1 Pro reel. Many times on the stripers, longest cast wins, and the longest casting reel I know of is the Lew's BB1 Pro. It will haul it out there. As far as the lures go, there were 3 lures that we caught them on today. A big swim bait, that's a 6 or a 7 inch long swim bait on an 1.5 ounce head. Below that is a 1 ounce spoon, and it's a 5 inch long spoon. This is not a baby spoon. Below that, we caught some smaller stripers on a deep diving crankbait. That bait will dive about 12 feet deep. And I fully recommend that you use a net when you're striper fishing. Too many bad things can happen when you get a striper flopping around in the bottom of the boat. He's got sharp gill plates, he'll cut you. You've got treble hooks flying around everywhere, and those are bad boys when you get them in the boat. You need a good quality net to handle those fish when you get one up near the boat and get it inside the boat. English poet John Donne penned a work in 1624 that included the well-known phrase, "For whom the bell tolls." Also in that work was another well-known phrase that says, "No man is an island." Even though that was written in 1624, it is so true today. Many of us live in isolation. All we need is our cell phone, our mobile device, the internet, our busy schedules, and everybody else gets isolated out. It's not healthy for us. God created all of us as relational beings. We need each other. We need friends and family and relationships. But those relationships require time, energy, and effort invested. The question is, are you and I interested in investing that kind of time and energy in each other's lives? It involves putting some of those devices down, looking each other in the eye, and talking to each other. Our lives are much healthier when we have each other in them. I hope you enjoyed our trip today to Possum Kingdom Lake in Northwest Texas. Don't forget that all of these principles that we showed you today will apply at a lake near you that has striped bass. Hey, don't forget to join us for our show next week. We'll be on at our normal time at 10:30 p.m. on Thursday with the repeat airing Saturday morning at 7:30. You can always catch up on all of our past episodes on the front page of our website. Click on past episodes and more video here, and it will take you to everything we've done in the last few years. Also, don't forget to join us on our Facebook page for all the latest fishing news and photos and videos, and follow us on that Twitter feed. Once again, we're giving away a Fox Sports Outdoors jersey, as well as a lot of other gear between now and the end of our season. You've got to click follow on Twitter at the address you see on your screen. From Possum Kingdom Lake in West Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.